national reality. The area we are working, some of the Caribbean, some of the Central, they have very young child welfare system. They are in the process. Of course, we know the huge difference between the global north and the global south. Our system has around 120 years. What kind of advice would you give as taking into consideration the difference to those colleagues coming from, not colleagues, all the system coming from the south in terms of not repeating the same mistakes? I don't know if that makes sense.
It does make so much sense, and thank you for asking that question. I think that when we talk about this work happening in, transnationally and particularly representing different spaces within this room, one of the areas I think is so important and so critical for us to pay attention to, and this particularly comes out of the work that, working with you in the Dominican Republic, and observing and having the privilege of being able to do that over 4 years in terms of with Dr. Sarah Villamero and her work within Amima. But one of the observations that I've made is the existence of that colonial view of identities and bodies, and so how does it get reproduced within, even within countries that are primarily racialized, Black, and yet anti-Black racism still exists, and anti-African sentiment, where the darker the skin, the higher the consequence, right? Where we see ideas of colonization and the colonizer occupy and reproduce itself within systems, child welfare or child protection or any version of it within clinical spaces, the conversations, the assessments that happen within spaces like that are primarily racialized and primarily Black, that we are still implicated through a very colonial way of thinking. And so if the underpinning of the work that happens doesn't, and especially now that it's within a very, it's in its inception, right, where we are able to mold and not reproduce the mistakes of these areas of the world, where now we're taking up a critical view to understanding identities, and that we're not, often what happens is that we don't recognize the knowledge and I say the knowledge of indigeneity, and I'm not necessarily referring to indigenous people. I mean like original thinking, original peoples, in terms of who we are as either African descent people, right? That we don't incorporate and understand that we have knowledge and the ability to be able to create forms of protection, assessments, and well-being for our families, and that we don't have to just adopt, right? Oh, what's Canada doing? What's Toronto doing? What's America doing? Knowing that, and we devalue, right, the knowledge that we carry within these spaces, to be able to look at things differently and to have a different impact. And so there's an undervaluing. There's a valuing of white Eurocentric thinking, colonized thinking, over that indigenous ways of knowing and interacting within community that doesn't get taken up or incorporated. It doesn't get spoken about, and it gets erased. And that all we do is now we reproduce brown bodies to think like, behave like, assess like, look at risk like white people against our own people. And so we have to start to disrupt that and stop privileging knowledge, in these colonial spaces, but understand that it has not served us well. And therefore you have the opportunity to recreate a different impact and engage communities in a different way, and also call out when anti-Black racism and anti-African sentiments within these spaces in the Caribbean. So those are my thoughts about that.